Hey guys, it's Saria. Welcome back to my channel. This collab is being hosted by the Hall Family Adventures. They invited a bunch of us to get together and do a Grinch-inspired video. What that is kind of up to interpretation. I myself decided to do a DIY. I'm going to be doing this glitter tumbler. If you guys have seen these, they're sometimes called snow globe tumblers, but it's basically like you shake it around and then the glitter moves around almost like a lava lamp kind of. I did make one of these during Halloween time that was kind of like hocus pocusy, but I didn't film the video, so I decided to redo the craft and actually film it this time. And it's Grinch themed, obviously. Be sure to check out everybody else's videos, and without any more chit chat, let's jump into the tutorial. So starting off, you're going to need a double wall tumbler. This is a Starbucks one. I picked this up in a 2-pack off of Amazon for about 20 bucks, so each one was about $10. You can definitely find cheaper options on Amazon, Walmart. You just need to make sure that it is a double wall tumbler because we're going to be drilling a hole in this to add the glitter in between those two walls. If it's not a double wall tumbler, this will not work. So you're going to need a pilot hole drill bit just to drill a hole in between these layers of plastic. Mine is I believe a 1/4 inch, but honestly you can just kind of judge off of like how big you want the hole to be based on your glitter. I like a slightly larger hole just because it speeds up the process of putting all of the glitter inside. Do take your time with this and go pretty slow, just to make sure that you don't accidentally go too far. I have never gone too far. I've never like burst through the cup and gone through the next layer. It's pretty hard to do that, but just being like, if this is your first time doing it, I would definitely take your time just to be sure. I went ahead and zoomed in just so you guys can get a really good view of what this will look like. So you will see the plastic kind of like getting wrapped around the drill and flicking up a little bit. Like I said, this just takes patience. I have not sped this part up just because I wanted you to see it in real time and how long this really does take. But I just work little by little. I kind of clear the space and then keep drilling until I get all the way through. Now, once you've opened the hole completely, you are going to probably see a little bit of plastic down in the hole. I have these little like poking tools that came in a 4-pack from Walmart, and I've used them for weeding purposes for my silhouette for vinyl, but they work really great for this. So I just kind of poked down into the hole and then flicked out the plastic that was still in between. So next we are going to start on the glitter. I got totally out of frame for this, I'm so sorry, but I'm using some really fine glitter. I'm using like a really bright obnoxious green, more of a normal Christmas green, a red, and then this red has a chunkier quality to it, and the reason I chose this one is because it reminded me of little hearts, and so, you know, the Grinch's heart grew 3 sizes that day. Get it? Get it? Anyway, this is the hole that I was able to create, and now we're going to start adding the glitter. This part is a little bit tedious and a little bit time consuming, just depending on how much you want to add. But honestly, the best trick I've learned is just put a little bit on top and then do the tapping method. Just tap the cup and kind of swirl it around inside. You can use your finger to kind of smush it into the hole. I have tried doing a funnel before using a frosting tip, so like the little metal frosting tips. I've tried that. I've also tried making one out of paper, but my personal preference and what I found to be the most effective is just kind of shaking and tapping on the side of the cup and just being patient. Well, this part of the video I am going to go ahead and speed up just because it is super repetitive. I'm going to go ahead and slow the video back down just a little bit as I add the final glitter in. This glitter is much chunkier, which means it's a little bit harder to work down into the cup. You can totally do it, but again, just patience. Something else I really want to point out, if you guys look at my cup right now, it is caked in glitter. It looks like I have added so much, but in reality, once you add in the glycerin, which we're going to do in a minute, it is not going to be very much glitter at all. So when you're working with fine glitter, you really do want to add more. You want to do a ton just to make sure that you have a really sparkly cup. Once you guys see mine at the end, you might disagree and feel like I added plenty, but I would say to make sure that you do incorporate different textures of glitter, chunky and fine, and then I would make sure that your glitter starting from the bottom of the cup goes up about halfway on the cup. I know that that seems like a lot, but I just feel like you get a much sparklier, more fun snow globe tumbler. But here you guys can see me adding that chunkier glitter. And if you guys look at the cup right now, it's primarily green, but once I'm done, it's going to be primarily red. And that's what I'm saying with this fine glitter. Once we add in the liquid, it is really going to make the fine glitter kind of disappear. It still sparkles in the light and is beautiful, but it's a lot harder to see. So just make sure that more is more. So this is what my tumbler looks like before I'm going to add the water glycerin mixture, and I loved the coloring of this. This is how I wish that it had looked at the end. It's okay, I still love my cup, but I just am being honest with you guys. I love how well you can see the green right now, but a lot of this green is just going to disappear. So again, I would definitely do more if I made another one of these. Next, we're going to move on to the liquid mixture. So you're going to need this pure vegetable glycerin. I just picked this up at Walmart. I do wish I had gotten a larger container because one of these makes only 2 tumblers. But you're going to need a 1/3 cup of this mixed with 2/3 cup of water. Now I will tell you guys, this is the portion that I just know works, and I am awful at remembering to like cut the recipe in half, but I don't know what those measurements are, not gonna lie to you guys, because a 1/3 cup of glycerin and 2/3 cup of water is a really perfect mixture for this project, but you also really don't need this much. So this would honestly, I think, fill 2 tumblers as opposed to 1. So if you are good at math and can cut those fractions in half, will you leave them for me in the comments below, because it didn't occur to me to try to figure that math out. Anyway, you're going to mix that together, and then you need to make sure to clean off the top of your lid. You want to make sure you're supposed to actually use rubbing alcohol to clean it off. I'm not going to lie to you guys, I don't do that because I don't have rubbing alcohol, but that is advised, is to clean off the top of it with rubbing alcohol. Make sure it's completely dry before doing these next couple of steps. I'm using a medicine syringe in order to just put this inside. You can buy like an actual crafting syringe, but these are free from pharmacies. If you just go in and ask for a medicine syringe, they'll give one to you. And I'm just slowly kind of like taking up the glycerin water mixture and just slowly, spouting it down into the cup. I will tell you guys, as soon as I put in a little bit of this mixture, I very quickly realized I did not have enough glitter, and so I'm doing something I do not advise you with, which is to add more glitter after. Nothing really happened bad, but it was really, really hard to get it down into the cup all the way because it was wet. So I did end up adding more glitter, but again, like I've said so many times at this point, I would just do more glitter in the first place and learn from my mistakes. Once you think that you have added enough of the glycerin water mixture, you're going to want to use your finger to cover up the hole, flip it upside down, and check for air bubbles. I had some really large air bubbles at the top of my cup, which tells me that I do not have enough of this liquid inside, and it really will make the cup like not appealing when you're done. So make sure to go and add more. Even though you guys can see it's like overflowing onto the top of my cup, I just kind of pour that down back into the bowl, shake it up a little bit more, and then just added more and more, because it is very, very important that you try to get rid of the air bubbles as much as you can, just to make sure that your snow globe shakes up really nicely. Okay, so this is what my cup looked like once I had it all the way full. After I seal the bottom of it, I'm going to shake it up really good for you guys and show you what it looks like. But we do need to seal the bottom of this. And I lied. This is when you need to clean off the bottom. I don't know why I was so thinking you had to clean it off before. You don't. You don't really have to clean it off until right now. So now that you have the glycerin mixture inside, your glitter's inside, and you're ready to close this up, clean it off really good. If you have rubbing alcohol, I would highly advise you to use that to clean off the top. But just make sure that it's free of any glitter, dust, dirt, and especially liquid. You really do have to make sure that the top of this is completely dry before doing this next step. So the sealant that we're going to use to fill back in the hole that we drilled is Gorilla Epoxy. You can get this at Walmart, you can get it off of Amazon. It's very cost affordable, and what I like about it is that there's a cap on it so you can reseal it and do this project multiple times. I would highly, highly suggest watching the video that I will try to remember to link down below for you guys. It just kind of walks you through the gist of how to use this glue. I'm going to tell you right now too, but sometimes it's just nice to see it multiple times. The reason I say that is because I made a mistake right here. So the clear stuff comes out faster than the yellow stuff. That's basically what I'm going to tell you. So I forgot that, and I squeezed it and only the clear part came out, and these two compounds have to mix in order to create that epoxy seal. So my suggestion is to actually squeeze it out on a paper towel or something like that first to get it, evenly flowing, then go on and add it to the top of your cup. The epoxy does come with this tiny little popsicle stick, and its purpose is for you to kind of smooth out the glue on the top of the cup. Now, because I messed up, I do end up going and doing a second layer of this because I just struggled to get this all the way in the hole and create a nice seal. I'm going to show you guys what this looked like after this first coat that I did dried, and then I think you'll really get why I felt like I needed a second coat of this epoxy. Also, make sure that you clean off any of the glue that may have gotten into the wrong spot, because you can totally clean it off before it dries, but once it's dry, that's not coming off. Okay, so I'm trying to give you guys a really good close-up here, but this is basically what it looked like after the first coat, and you really can't see it on camera, but it was kind of divoting down. So instead of being a smooth, flat layer, it dipped down into the hole that I drilled, which is what you do not want. So I did go ahead and add another layer of the epoxy. After 24 hours, by the way. I let this sit upside down for 24 hours. I was not happy with the smoothness of the bottom, so I'm just adding a second layer and using a different popsicle stick that I have in my craft room to smooth out the epoxy and do a second coat. The reason that this is so important is because this is going to stop your cup from leaking. This is going to stop the glitter from coming out and everything, which you obviously don't want that mess. So, second coat it is. The very last thing that I decided to do was I used my silhouette to cut out this little Grinch Miss Blend Starbucks looking logo, which was so incredibly difficult and took me a lot of time. I'm not a pro on the silhouette nor the Cricut. So honestly, time-wise, I would suggest trying to buy one of these off of Etsy. I feel like they would only be a couple dollars, then you can just slap it on your cup. They might even sell stickers like this on Amazon that are like decals for cups. But other than that, I was very, very happy with this process. I think making these cups is surprisingly easy and quick. Just be sure to wait at least 24 hours for your epoxy to totally set before using this cup. You want to make sure that it has time to not crack or bleed or anything like that. But I did just want to show you guys how pretty this cup is shaken up and really show you guys what I was talking about with how much that green glitter disappeared. So if I made one of these again, basically I would be sure to add a chunky green glitter and a lot of it, just to be sure that I got the look that I wanted exactly for my glitter. But I do hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Be sure to go check out everybody else involved in this collab so you can see some other Grinchy things, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.